Hi and welcome to Human Design. I'm Melina McDonald and today I'm going to talk to you about the different personality types. So we've got 4 different main personality types. The first one I'm going to cover is the generators. So generators and manifesting generators, they're actually a majority of the population, and the generators are known as the workers and the builders and the organizers. And the reason being is because we have a natural inbuilt motor inside that creates our energy. So we can sustain energy and create our own energy much easier than the other types, hence why we're a bit better off doing the Monday to Friday 9 to 5 kind of job. Now, I'm not sitting here telling you guys, hey, you're a generator, a manifesting generator, so you should be just getting any old job. Hells no. The key component to being a generator is that you must, now listen to this clearly, you must be working in something that you are passionate about. Okay, something that brings you joy, because if you're not, because when we're not in flow, our keyword is frustration, and the frustration will be up here. Okay, so it's really imperative that you're working in something that you're passionate about. So if you are one of these kind of people and you're in that situation, you really need to look at what does bring you joy and change your career. Okay, and we can always help you to work out what that actually is. Your battery must be flat. So because you've got all this energy, it's really important specifically that you exercise and you get all that energy out, and you need to burn it all off before you go to sleep. So if you go to bed before your batteries are flat, let me tell you, you're going to be counting sheep for hours. It doesn't, you can't just go, oh, I'm going to get up early tomorrow, so I'm going to go to bed earlier. It doesn't work that way. Okay. With the generators, your aura, just imagine it's double the length of your arms and a big bubble. So if you were sitting in front of me right now, you would be sitting in my aura, so you'd be able to get some energy from me. So generators, they're good in a social area. They love groups, generally speaking, because we've got this buzz battery energy. Now, a manifesting generator is very similar, except for there's a couple of different components there. So firstly, you've got more energy than a generator. So it's really, really important that you guys are literally putting your fingers in many pies at once. So a lot of people have a tendency to probably tell you, oh, you're not focused, you've got to focus on one thing at a time. Bum, bum. That's incorrect. It's actually important as a manifesting generator, because you've got more energy than a generator, that you are literally doing multiple things at the same time. Okay, then for you, both kinds, their strategy is to respond, but with a manifesting generator, it's to, you've got something happen, you gain clarity, you sit on it, and then you actually tell people what you're going to do. So, that's something that's quite important for you guys to understand, because you've got that bit more energy. If you are not thin, okay, I can tell you right now, that means that you're not talking to your body correctly. Okay, because manifesting generators should be of a smaller size, and that's something obviously that we can discuss when we look at your chart of why. A projectors, they're about, let's see, generators, manifesting generators, about 70% of the population. The projectors, they're about 20%, and you guys are the guides. You're here to guide the generators and manifesting generators, okay? You're here to help us to find our jam, to find our thing that floats our boat, that gets us excited, that we're passionate about. So the energy for a projector is very direct. It's very one-to-one. So they're actually better one-to-one than they are in crowds, okay? You'll find that you don't have the natural energy in your body. Okay, so because of that, because you can't create your natural energy, you'll find that you need a lot more rest than a generator. So for you guys, sometimes you're going to be told, or someone's going to say, oh, you're really lazy. And it's not that you're really lazy, it's that you need to get some rest. So it's really imperative for you guys that you get a really good balance of work, rest, and play. okay? You'll find that a lot of projectors tend to be healers. They tend to work in those modalities, and you are not, here's your tip, you are not supposed to be here to basically work like a generator. You're not supposed to do Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. That doesn't work for you guys, okay? I've got a lot of projectors in my life, and we did notice that when one of my friends stays at my house, she's on one side of the wall, on my couch on the other side, and because she's in my bubble of energy, if I'm still awake, she's still awake. So now that we've worked this out, we make sure that when I go to bed, that I am ready to go to sleep. And the thing is if you are around generators, and they're a majority of the population for you projectors, you may find that you'll go to bed later than you normally would, okay, because you've grabbed some of that energy. Now the manifestors, you guys are, about 8-9% of the population. Some of the things that's really important for you guys to know is that your energy and the way that it works is very much like this, okay? It's very dense and it's very pushing. And you know what? The reality is you guys have run the universe, or you've run Earth for thousands of years, and you're a little pissed off because you're not running the show anymore, okay? So you always used to be, the queens, kings, emperors, empresses, the high priest and priestesses, okay? But things have changed on the planet. Now you guys can purely manifest. This is the fundamental difference between you guys and everybody else. So when we keep telling people, oh, you can manifest stuff, think of it and you can manifest, that shit actually doesn't work, okay? So for the manifestors, you can get an idea and make it happen and go and do it, okay? However, the rest of us, we cannot manifest the way you guys do. It's very different on how we use our energy. Now, because you can naturally do this, what happens with you guys? Because you guys have a lot of energy, a hell of a lot. You work like lightning speed, okay? So here's some tips. If you live with a manifestor, never put anything in the doorways, because a manifestor is guaranteed to trip over it, because they're always moving so fast, doing this, doing that, doing the other thing, okay? The other thing and I have a mum who's a manifestor, so one of the things that we've noticed with her, and it makes sense now, is that she tends to literally come into the conversation halfway through the conversation, right? So she's had half the conversation in her head, and then she opens her mouth and she starts speaking, and she's halfway through it, and I'm like, woman, what the hell are you talking about? Okay, so the manifestor is working at such fast speeds. Now, because you're such a small percentage of the population, you tend to live with or have a relationship with generators. So the trick for you guys, because the way it works is you're either going to attract your tribe or you're going to repel people. And it's interesting because, like the manifestors that I've got around me, they're such beautiful, beautiful souls. But what happens is that they think of something and they do it, and they forget to inform the rest of us of what's going on. So with a generator, we're here to respond to things. As a projector, you're here to wait for the invitation. So you, again, cannot manifest. You cannot think, I want to do something and make it happen. You can't go out and make shit happen. Okay, projectors, get that in your head. You need to wait for the invitation, which I find very frustrating because I'm always dating projectors. So I always have to do the invitation. They never contact me, but it's always the other way around. So with a manifestor, you guys, you can come up with an idea and go to do it, but you must inform those around you, because you don't want them to feel left behind. And that's that repelling component that can happen with you guys, okay? So again, you've got a lot of energy. The way that you operate is quite different because you can manifest. And obviously we can go into a lot more detail of what a manifestor is. That's something that you guys can always download. The last kind is the reflector, and the reflectors are only 1% of the population, so we don't come across them very often, but these are beautiful beings. They really are beautiful beings. Everything in a reflector's chart is wide open. It's all white, okay? And because it's all white, everything that they're getting, they're a mirror to everybody and everything that is around them, okay? So they're getting information coming in from outside. None of it's from inside out, it's all from outside in, okay? So the reflectors are the most ultimate mirror for anybody that's around, you know. They're here to, in a way, be a guide, but in a different modality, okay? So to give you an analogy of how it works, let's imagine the manifestor comes in and they come up with an idea and they go, we're going to build this building. And they bring in the generators and the manifesting generators so they can build the building. And the projectors will come in, and the projectors, because they're guides, they're more your supervisors and we're guiding the project on how it's supposed to happen. Because the manifestor is not supposed to do the project. They're not a project manager, okay? They're not supposed to be doing that. They come up with the idea and they instigate what we're going to do, and then we come in, the generators come in and we build it, the projectors come in and they guide how it's happening, but the reflector actually works in amongst everybody. So they're making sure, is everybody happy? Is everyone doing what they're supposed to be doing? And if they're not, they're able to put that back out there. So for reflectors, it's sort of like you've got two sides. You're really great in a social circle, okay? But at the same time, you actually need time on your own, okay, to re-energize your batteries, because everything's coming from the outside. And it's really important, if you're a reflector, that you do not make major decisions in your life till the 29th day in a calendar. As in, you need to wait 29 days. You need to wait what we call the lunar cycle, which is 28 days, but we're going to do it on the 29th day is when you make that decision. Because like the moon and how it affects the tides and the water coming in and out, you need to remember that our bodies are also water, majority water. So you're going to go through that month, lots of thoughts and feelings and ups and downs and yes and no's. And when that cycle is finished is when you're going to have clarity on when you can make a decision. So that is the different personality types. If you want to find out more about who you are, make sure that you have a look below. We've got links so that way you can get your own reading and find out how you operate. So till next